y'all, it's Natalie for A Cherry on Top, and there's my Spooky Babe mug, and it's time for Halloween crafting. I have this round wooden plaque from A Cherry on Top, and we're gonna make a Halloween piece of home decor today. So I'm using some white acrylic paint and just covering the entire front of this board. I do end up putting 2 coats on it to fully cover it and make sure that it's nice and covered in white. I'm planning to hang this on my mantelpiece with all of the mantle decor that I've already put up for Halloween. So I let that dry, and I'm using a sanding block just to make sure that none of the edges are too rough, because I am going to add some ribbon and things like that, and I don't want it to maybe stick and like unravel. But as per usual, I'm going to be kind of giving a very distressed look. So you can see I have this Tim Holtz distressed looking broken glass kind of stencil. I'm using my my matte texture paste from Ranger. It's kind of a little dry actually, but it worked for this project because I was able to kind of use my fingers a little bit to place it on the stencil, and then I'm just using my bigger contour tool to make sure that it sticks through, and I let that dry, and I just kind of place it all over the thing. And my idea is going to be I'm doing kind of a spider web. So this is just a little bit of texture in the background, but we're going to cover it up. I'm also going around the edges with some distressed ink just to give it a nice black look around the edges, like it's a little dirty, a little distressed. And then we're going to add our spider web here in just a moment, but I'm just adding that with some blending brushes here. And then I'm also going back in with that sanding block and kind of sanding down a little bit of the paste if it's on the edge or anything like that. I did cut out a little template. This is just like a free file that I printed from like Google, just so I can kind of give myself a little bit of guidance with making my web. I am using hot glue. I'm going to use a ton of hot glue. You can see me here. This is like a silicone paintbrush type of tool. This is really helpful when you have hot glue. And this way, I'm not touching super hot glue. Sometimes I'm using this tool to stick my item down and things like that. So you'll see me using that a lot, removing the excess glue before it's dry, just to make sure that things don't look too messy. But again, there's going to be so much going on here that it doesn't really matter if you can see the glue a little bit, because we're going to add more yarn to create the web here. So there's going to be overlapping pieces and things like that. So I'm gone around with my template and kind of made sure that I'm kind of staying in a nice circle and giving myself all the points. But you see how that was a wonky U, but it doesn't matter. That leads to like the whimsical nature of the web, which a web looks like in real life, right? So I'm cool with it. So after that, I'm going to just eyeball it. So I'm just going to create maybe like a star pattern. I'm going from one side to the other here in each corner. And then I'll go through again with the U's and finish up the web here in a minute. So I'm overlapping the yarn strands. I'm cool with it. It gives it some dimension. I like it. But, you know, you could do whatever you want. And it really, you will end up, even if you wanted to like take this idea and make it your own, it's going to be your own. You're going to use different products probably. I'm using a lot of things from my stash. I did buy some specific things in the store just recently, but also I'm just using things that I've had in my stash that I bought in the store a year ago or 2 years ago, things like that. I even end up using or thrifting, reusing, upcycling, whatever you want to call it, a piece of old jewelry, which is super fun. So I encourage you to do that. If you don't have old costume jewelry, like check it out the next time you go to the thrift store or like a flea market. You might find something really cool that you can repurpose for your craft projects. So I'm just trimming off all of my strings here, and then I'm going back through and making sure they're all adhered down really nicely once I've trimmed them off. I did leave them long for a little bit because I wanted to make sure that of how I wanted everything to look. And you can see that I still have one in the middle there. And I actually decided that was just my end string and I left it long. And I'm going to use that as like the string that the spider hangs off of and use it to attach one of the little bottles you saw at the beginning that I did buy in the store to add as an embellishment. There they are. These are cute little glass bottles with cork tops. And I'm planning to fill them up and use them in a few different areas. The idea was like that the spider web was catching all of this stuff. It caught all of this pretty sparkly Halloween goodness that's like caught in the web. So these are Picket Fence Studios Halloween sequins. They were out last year. Actually, they were in the cherry box last year when we did monthly cherry boxes. But I still had some left over, so I'm filling up the big bottle here with those, and they are still available in the store. I'm going to link all these products that are still available in the store down below. And so I'm going to use a little bit of glue to make sure that my string is stuck nicely, but I'm also going to tie it around the neck of that bottle. This is some mummy fabric, mummy ribbon maybe from Tim Holtz. And you can see I'm pulling beads out from my stash. I use that mummy ribbon to tie around some resin bones. Those are also from Tim Holtz. So they're called boneyard pieces. I used it to tie a bow that I'm going to put at the top of my wreath. That cat, that's the brooch, you know, because when I was a child, I had a lot of brooches, which is weird. Is that weird? Or was that just like a 90s thing? Anyway, we're repurposing it. I'm probably never going to wear it again. I mean, I'm never going to wear it again. Not probably. I'm never going to wear it again. So I was like, let's put little Binks cat over here on our project. I love it. That Eek piece is from Photo Play, Iconic Boo and Eek stamp set and die. And I stamped it in Crackling Campfire, and then I did some Wow glitter embossing powder over the top, and I love the way it looks, just so we have a iconic word on here. I decided to add in the orange color in a few pops, so I went ahead and added in some more ribbon at the top, and I'm really glad I did. I think it really helped. So I'm going to lay everything out so you can kind of see where I'm thinking that they're going to go, but I won't make you watch me adhere it all down. But those like little glitter dots are kind of like enamel dots, but they were the perfect burnt orangey color that I was using on the rest of the board. And so I decided to just kind of layer those underneath some of the bones. They're the same color of the glitter that you can see in one of the bottles that I'm going to hang from the bow at the top. I'm gluing down those beads. You could have also used your yarn when you're building the web and threaded beads onto it. I am using more of the mummy fabric, and I'm going to wrap that around the knot of the bow so that I have a very nice anchor on which to adhere my pin. I was going to just remove the backing of the brooch and stick it down and with glue, and I was like, well, it already has a pin on it. That'll make it even more secure. So I'm just going to do both. I'm going to use hot glue, but I'm also going to pin it to this piece of mummy cloth that I am wrapping all the way around. I'm also using this double whammy here to thread through some string which is tied to that bone and those other two bottles of glitter, and they're going to dangle nicely from the middle of that bow as well. And you'll see what I mean in the final shots. You'll be able to see what I mean, that they're just kind of hanging there when I hang the wreath, if you will, from my fireplace. And I even used a little dot of glue here to kind of keep the bow together, because it's not wired ribbon or anything, and it's a floppy, nice ribbon, which is kind of like, I feel like in vogue right now. The girls are wearing it in their hair and everything, but I did want the pieces to kind of stay together. And so there I go. I'm adding the glue there to stick to my brooch, but I'm also threading the pin through the middle of that bow, so it's really adhered down nicely. Again, that's a piece from my stash, but like, go to the thrift store, go to the flea market, and add those bits in with your bead supplies and your little embellishments that you buy in the embellishment section at the store, notions, buttons, things like that. Those are so fun to repurpose and thrift. So I'm just going around and using my hot glue gun. I'm sticking everything down, and I want a few more pops of black. So now I'm using my hot glue again, but I'm just using sequins just like I would on any scrapbook layout. I'm looking around and seeing, where do I need to, mimic this element, put another piece of black in, repeating elements all over the project just really bring cohesion in. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. This is a YouTube design team hop. There is a $25 gift card up for grabs. If you hop around to everyone's project and leave a comment, you'll be entered to win. And I'm going to link down below with all the products. Let me know if you have any questions. Hop along. The list is down below, all of the design team members, and everyone is creating fall projects. So they're not all Halloween. Some of them are Halloween. Some of them are just regular fall, but there's so much fun goodness. I hope you enjoyed this outside the box home decor project. Let me know what you think, or let me know if you have any questions as well. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.